Okay, let's talk about a simple bassline patch. So I've got my EG set to slow here. I've got 4 notes turned up on the velocity, and one is subsonic. I've got VCO, I've got a pitch assigned to both oscillators here. This third pitch is subsonic. I can turn. I hope you're listening with headphones because it makes a lot more sense, because these are low notes. And I've got my EG turned negative, so it's whine, basically. So a lot can happen with just very simple knob turns here. If I take my envelope generator, we can go from a bass line to a kick drum, which is awesome. So now I've got a pitched bass drum. Okay. Super cool. We've also got some stuff that can happen with the hard sync. The hard sync's turned on for VCO2. So if I turn that up, you'll hear you get some nice stuff happening. And I find that these are pretty foolproof in terms of how they interact. It's hard to find a bad sound in here. Certainly some are better than others, but it's still pretty good. Super cool. Now, what you find is VCO decay on the oscillator works best at lower settings when we're doing more bassline types of stuff. But then when you get both oscillators going, it does some really fun things. So let's listen. So here's our just normal bassline, right? And as we turn up the VCO decay, it just becomes a little splatty. Although this knob is really fun once we get into kick drum range, right? So all kinds of stuff can happen. And when we add the hard synced oscillator to this, and we can add FM. So all these timbre changes just from simple knob turns. And we can play around with the noise. Well, first let's play around with negative envelope on the filter. So now we're whine. Okay, and we'll talk about an interesting thing with the VCA decay here in 1 second. We can also put in hi-hat. So this noise on the filter kind of becomes a hi-hat. And we control the length with the VCA decay. Okay, another interesting thing I've noticed is that if pitch is not assigned to VCO1, this decay does a lot more. Like right now, it's got sort of a limited parameter. If we turn it down, it's just clicking, but it's pretty much like the length of a step, right? If we go off, we get these really long 808 style notes, and I think that's an intentional design, because this becomes more like an 808 when you have no pitch assigned to it. Okay, so I hope that gives you some ideas. Play around with these envelopes. Play around with with the way these knobs interact, and you get a lot of different stuff happening.